Germany's broken economy is teetering on the edge of a complete meltdown. A stumbling economy, an energy crisis, an aging population, and failing exports. The past year has been disastrous for Germany, and somehow it's gotten even worse. A budget crisis has swept Germany, potentially dealing the last blow to an already shaky tower of cards. The question on everyone's tongue is simple. Can Germany ever come back from this? If you're wondering about what hangs in the balance for Deutschland, keep watching. Germany's devastating budget crisis. Generally, when it comes to understanding a current crisis, it's always best to place the present within a certain context. Scrutinizing present-day economic crises always presupposes an understanding of the past, but sometimes it's important to start with the present and work one's way back. For this video, this is the approach that we'll be taking. So without any mention of Germany's tumultuous economic history, let's uncover all the controversy around the current budget crisis. Before we can explain what the panic is all about, or talk about how the budget crisis paints a bleak picture of the German economy's future, let's start by zeroing in on the what in this situation. What is the budget crisis, and how does it break the already down on its luck German economy? Ever since the pandemic, Germany's fiscal and political future has been uncertain. But after December 6, 2023, this uncertainty has maniacally escalated. After missing its self-imposed deadline for a budget deal, which, as you guessed, was December 6, 2023, Germany risks following a temporary budget. Now you might be wondering, is a temporary budget so bad? And the answer, unfortunately, is a big yes. The failure to finalize a budget for 2024 will inexplicably have terrible consequences for the country. Adhering to a temporary budget will not only set a freeze on new spending, it'll also turn the economic landscape on its head. While essential services such as pensions and social benefits will still get paid, the government would freeze all other payments, including, but not necessarily limited to, subsidies. These subsidies are important for a multitude of reasons. The subsidies for microchips and batteries aid crucial German industries. At the same time, the subsidies for green transition would allow Germany to move toward a sustainable future. While German economists still had hope on December 6th, the next day, that hope was destroyed. On December 7th, 2023, the Social Democratic Party made a ground-shattering revelation. A senior lawmaker from Chancellor Scholz's team stated that they would not be able to meet the deadline for the 2024 budget before the year end. If you ever need cold, hard proof of the trouble Germany is in, well, this is it. The acknowledgement by Katja Mast not only sheds light on the challenges faced by the ruling coalition, but it also highlights the repercussions of a recent significant court ruling. So let's talk about it. Detrimental court rulings. For a country that's pretty much known for its efficiency, it's peculiar to think that Germany would resort to delaying its budget. As surprising as it may seem, it's true. Germany has accepted defeat in the face of the difficult task that they faced. But why would something such as a financial budget prove to be so tedious? Let's rewind to 2 years ago in 2021. Germany's ruling coalition, a blend of Social Democrats, Greens, and the Free Democrats, pledged to bring about a progressive transformation in German politics. Compare this to the challenges the same coalition faces today, and you'll realize how Germany's been in a state of slow decline ever since. But going back to 2021, Germany's highest court just declared their ambitious plan to repurpose 60 billion euros. It decided to finance climate initiatives, and the money was to be taken from a COVID-19 fund. Unfortunately, things did not go as planned. For the first time in Germany's long history, the Constitutional Court struck down a federal budget. Not only that, but the federal court deemed the budget unconstitutional. Moreover, there was now a 60 billion euro hole in the coalition's signature legislative agenda. Under these dire circumstances, the coalition was forced to reconsider everything. In particular, this situation led them down a rabbit hole. With the decision set in stone, the coalition needed to figure out subsidies. The following questions plagued Germany in November 2023 in the aftermath of the court's decision. how would they finance crucial subsidies that the nation's economy depended on? And without subsidies for developing industries, how would they revive Germany's flailing economy? The federal court's decision has punched the ruling coalition right where it hurt. Not only did this terrible predicament jeopardize Germany's green transition, but devastatingly, it brought to the surface how unstable the coalition truly was. And with the revelation on December 7th, it doesn't take a lot to figure out that the ruling coalition is still in trouble. There's been a lot of speculation about the uncertainty of the coalition. It's evident that there's a deep-rooted discord between the ruling parties. While Germany's political landscape has often remained somewhat stable, things might be changing. The current internal strife between the coalition has fueled many discussions, and according to some political commentators, Chancellor Olaf Scholz could reshape the coalition entirely. Some suggest a shift away from the Greens and Free Democrats in favor of a coalition with the center-right Christian Democrats. But of course, the socio-political landscape isn't as straightforward as that. There are less than 2 years until the next national election, and today, Christian Democrats lead the polls, so such a scenario seems unlikely. Additionally, there is a significant wedge between the coalition's ambitious goals. As the past 2 years have proven, the coalition overestimates the legislative capabilities. An instance of this occurred in July when the coalition faced extreme embarrassment. The court suspended a parliamentary vote on a household heating law. The opposition did not have enough time to evaluate the law. That's an excuse if we ever heard one. Furthermore, there have been a series of ongoing delays in initiatives such as a child welfare law. As you can imagine, the coalition's popularity is at an all-time low. Today, only a third of the German population expresses their support. If all of this sounds too messy, imagine what it must be like to be in the shoes of Chancellor Scholz. Olaf Scholz has to play a tricky balancing game. One wrong move, and he's got disaster on his hands. On the one hand, there are the fiscally conservative Free Democrats, who reject all tax increases. On the other, there are the leftist Greens. Chancellor Scholz must find a way to navigate these rampant ideological differences. The difficulty of Scholz's position becomes increasingly clear when you think about the current problems that the economy faces. The coalition's plan to repurpose the COVID-19 funds was initially a clever move. Not only would this align fiscal demands with environmental priorities, but it would be accepted by all parties of the coalition. What started with good intentions now presents an unanticipated challenge. How is the coalition ever going to account for the €60 billion shortage? It's worth mentioning that after December 6th, the gap was around €17 billion, but the problem still persists. This might be a dilemma that only time can resolve. At the moment, however, there are a couple of solutions. These include tax hikes, spending cuts, and repealing the debt brake. None of these solutions go easy on the German economy. This explains the vehement opposition these so-called solutions faced within the coalition. As Germany grapples with these challenges, the coalition's next move remains dubious. But no matter what solution gets implemented, one thing is certain. The court ruling has exposed deep divisions within the ruling coalition. Navigating a path forward amidst such turmoil will take time and strength. So far, things are not looking too great. Recently, the Free Democrats have faced an onslaught of criticism. The party was accused of accepting shadow budgets. These shadow budgets include the Climate Fund and a €100 billion special fund for the military. And that's not all. The Free Democrats have also recently lost the regional election. Their catastrophic defeat might just be the wake-up call that they needed. A sea of trouble. The failure to produce a budget for 2024 in time has lit the German economic landscape on fire. Now, we mean this metaphorically, of course, but if you're an industrialist right now in Germany, the line between metaphor and reality would be dangerously thin. Several industrial firms are concerned. They worry about the coalition backstepping from their green transition plans. In the same vein, industrialists are also concerned about the eradication of subsidies and welfare. As the economy sinks into uncertainty, industries quiver with panic. The budget crisis is only the latest addition to a slew of previous unresolved crises that continue to plague Germany. As always, it's important to bear in mind that while the budget crisis may appear an isolated issue, it's not. The way that economies work is that they are always affected by a series of related issues. What puts the nail in the coffin of the German economy today is that the country was already suffering. Before the budget crisis, there was the energy crisis, which to this day causes a major rift in the economy. Let's break it down. In the past, Germany had a long-standing reliance on Russian energy. The Nord Stream pipeline played a crucial role in meeting this demand. With rising geopolitical tensions and international sanctions on Russia, Germany's energy supply chain has gone off the rails. To make matters worse, Germany opted to reduce its dependence on nuclear energy. This shift towards renewable energy has plunged Germany into an energy crisis. Skyrocketing energy costs pose a severe threat, and there are fears that German companies might have to relocate. This could trigger a potential unemployment crisis for an already aging population. Traditionally dependent on Russian energy, Germany's economic landscape now walks a thin line. Add to that a new crisis, and it might seem like Germany's headed for the dark ages. Is there any hope at all? While the situation in Germany may seem dire, there could still be a silver lining to look forward to. For one, Chancellor Olaf Scholz seemed quite assured when he talked about yielding a budget deal. The coalition is also fiercely dedicated to preserving the welfare state. If there's any hope for Germany, it hinges on pragmatic fiscal policies and a collaborative spirit within the ruling coalition. What do you think the political and fiscal future of Germany looks like? Share your insights in the comments below. And as always, we'll be reporting how this situation plays out. Thanks for watching, and make sure to keep an eye out for our next video.